Secretary to Rivers State Government, Professor Ibibia Loki Worika, has called on residents of Rivers State to be apprehensive of fake news peddlers who intend to misinform the public. The SSG gave the warning today in government. Government remains steadfast in its pursuit of a peaceful, prosperous and united states. The firm's headquarters of oil theft and destroyed 22 illegal refining sites. The director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcus Kange, made this known in a weekly report of ongoing military operations by the Armed Forces of Nigeria in Abuja. Kange reported that the troops had during the week fought on theft worth an estimated sum of 169.2 million naira. The breakdown, according to him, indicates 325,990 liters of stolen crude oil, 24,645 liters of illegal. Akwa Ibom State government has dismissed circulating reports that Governor Umar Eno has commenced the disbursement of 50,000 business grants to all individuals in the state. In a press release issued on Saturday by the governor's chief press secretary, Okwere Udo, the public was cautioned not to fall victim to what he described as a scam. Although emphasized that the website link being circulated is fraudulent, stating that the only legitimate business grants and other empowerment initiatives currently being implemented by Governor Eno are administered through the official and verified website. The government reiterated its commitment to transparency. Arrested the suspected killer of Alhaji Awoyika Sumaila, a businessman in Ore, Udigbo local government area of the state. Sumaila, who dealt in building materials, was killed by gunmen at his residence opposite Caring Hearts Mega School, Idi Mango area, Ore, on March 1. DSP Ayanlade Olushola, the command spokesperson detachment, and other police teams quickly moved in condition into the course of the blast. Incident, the Commissioner of Police, Omo, visited the site for an immediate assessment. While assuring the public that the situation had been brought under control, the police urged residents to remain calm. He added that preliminary investigations revealed that 5 people were in and around the shop at the time of the explosion suffered varying degrees of injuries. They were promptly taken to the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital for medical treatment. Nigerian Army Ilorin has emerged victorious in the highly competitive 2-division inter-brigade corporal and below competition held at the 12th Brigade headquarters in Charimegwa. The participating brigades include 4 Brigade Benin, 12 Brigade Lokoja, 22 Armored Brigade Ilorin, 32 Artillery Brigade Akure, 42 Engineer Brigade Ede, and 2 Division Garrison Ibadan. The 5-day competition, which began on Monday, April 7th, was designed to enhance combat proficiency, leadership skills, and teamwork among soldiers. Announcing the results at the closing ceremony on Friday, the chief judge of the competition, Colonel Adeniyi Adebayo, said 22 Brigade emerged first position with cumulative points of 430, while 12 Brigade came second with 400 points, and 42 Engineer Brigade clinched third position with 380 points. The 32 Brigade got 4th position with 360, 4th Brigade came 5th with 350, while 2 Division Garrison clinched 6th position with 330 points and was awarded the Wooden Spoon. In his closing remarks, the General Officer commanding the 2nd Division, Major General Obina Onubogu, who was the special guest of honor, commended the petition boosted the efforts of the military forces for the ongoing counter-banditry operations across the state. Security forces in Katsina State have successfully repelled 2 coordinated attacks by suspected bandits in Malum Fashi and Agagiwa villages, averting what could have been a deadly night for residents and commuters. Attacks occurred on Friday, April 11, 2025. According to intelligence sources cited by security analyst Zagazola Makama, the first incident took place around 9:30 p.m. in Fanisawo village, located in Malum Fashi local government area. Suspected bandits stormed the community, prompting a swift response from the divisional police officer of Malum Fashi, who led a patrol team to the area. A fierce gun battle ensued, forcing the attackers to retreat into the surrounding bush. Just 30 minutes later, at about 10 p.m., another distress call came from Agagiwa village, where the bandits were said to have barricaded the Malum Fashi Funtua road and opened fire on a passing motorist. In response, the DPO deployed an armored personnel carrier to the location. Security operatives engaged the assailants in a gunfight, which once again led to the bandits fleeing the scene without succeeding.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all your bets on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. On 18.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
on the point of order.
Honorable
on them. They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economic, sports, and documentaries. So catch all your bits on the happenings around the world. Stay focused on the fact today on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing. You human traffickers. You are a human trafficker.
On them. They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has extended warm congratulations to the national public. In a statement on Saturday by his special advisor on information and strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, Tinubu hailed Morka as a committed party stalwart and strategic thinker whose contributions to the ruling party's communication strategy have been both effective and invaluable. Morka, a distinguished human rights lawyer and urban development expert, is the founder of the Social and Economic Rights Action Center and a former legal director of the Civil Liberties Organization. He was recently named chairman-designate of the board of the Nigerian Television Authority. The president noted that Mr. Morka's efforts in articulating and projecting the APC's vision and achievements have strengthened the party's engagement with the Nigerian public. Looking ahead to Morka's new responsibilities at the NTA, President Tinubu expressed full confidence in his capacity to lead the transformation of the national broadcaster, emphasizing that the importance of revitalizing content quality across its platforms. Tinubu prayed for Morka's continued health, wisdom, and enduring service to Nigeria. Suspended Senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, has called on the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, to dismiss the petition by the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, accusing her of criminal defamation and incitement. She instead urged the IG to probe Akpabio over allegations of threats to her life. Akpabio had written to Egbetokun alleging that the senator falsely accused him of plotting her assassination, a claim he described as heinous lies aimed at damaging his reputation and inciting unrest. In a statement on Saturday by her counsel, Victor Jiwa, Natasha accused the Senate President of attempting to preempt investigations into his alleged role in a plot to harm her by raising counter-allegations of public incitement. She insisted that Akpabio's petition was a deliberate ploy to distract law enforcement from more precedents had been completed and proven to be false. Could the Akpabio's petition be entertained? Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has called for the nationwide adoption of the Nigerian Air Force College of Nursing Sciences, pioneering air mobile first aid training, describing it as a critical step toward transforming emergency healthcare delivery in Nigeria. According to Air Abubakar, the air mobile first aid training, designed to equip nurses with rapid response capabilities in challenging environments, including aeromedical evacuation and austere condition, has the potential to become a cornerstone of the national nursing curriculum. A statement on Saturday by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Nigerian Air Force Headquarters, Air Commodore Ehimem Ejodame, said the Air Chief who was represented by the Chief of Medical Services, Air Vice Marshal Anthony Ekpe, spoke during the matriculation for 120 newly admitted National Diploma Set 6 students of NACONS held at NAF Base Kaduna. He also praised the collaboration between NAFCONS and the Nigerian Air Force School of Medical Sciences and Aviation and Medicine, calling it a model of readiness for crisis response, and emergency care in complex terrains. Abubakar lauded NAFCONS for consistently setting new benchmarks in nursing education. He commended the college's ability to produce competent and compassionate healthcare professionals while fostering unity by training both military and civilian students in a values-driven academic environment. Civic Group, the Center for Constitutional Watch, has criticized the leadership of the Nigerian Bar Association over what it described as a muted, convenient reaction to the ongoing constitutional crisis in Rivers State. A statement issued on Saturday and signed by Dr. Hassan Bello, Executive Director of the Center, said relocating the NBA's 2025 Annual General Conference from Port Harcourt to Enugu was not a bold enough statement against the illegal and shameful occupation of administrator model. The National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, has dismissed the recent visit of the opposition led by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar as a wasted effort and not a threat to the ruling party of President Bola Tinubu. He stated that the opposition coalition is a joint venture that will fail. Ganduje, who made the statement when he led the other members of the APC National Working Committee on a courtesy visit to former President Muhammadu Buhari at his residence in Kaduna State, said that the APC has indeed witnessed remarkable growth in numerical strength and popularity in the last 2 years, which has positioned it as Nigeria's ruling party and the largest in Africa. He attributed the party's electoral successes, including winning the presidency and majority of the off-season elections, to progress in the party. He added that such an electoral feat has largely contributed to its growth in popularity and membership. The visit of the APC leadership came a few hours after some key opposition leaders led by the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar visited the former president. Addressing the former president, Ganduje said the visit was a post-Salah homage since most of the NWC members were out of the country during the Salah celebrations. He also said the visit was to brief the former vice president on the activities of the APC under his leadership and the successes recorded so far, including attracting more people from other political parties into the ruling party. Nigerian Meteorological Agency has issued a warning of severe heat stress in Kano and 17 other northern states, forecasting soaring temperatures of up to 40 degrees Celsius beginning Saturday, April 12. The warning was contained in NIMET's latest weather outlook released on Friday and made available to the newsmen in Gombe on Saturday by the meteorological manager for Gombe State, Gayus Musa. According to the report, the state is expected to be affected alongside Kano, including Gombe, Borno, Adamawa, Taraba, Yobe, Bauchi, Jigawa, Katsina, Kaduna, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kebbi, Niger, Kogi, Nasarawa, Benue, and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. NIMET cautioned that the extreme heat, coupled with high humidity, could pose significant health risks to residents, especially vulnerable groups such as children and the elderly. Musa advised residents to take preemptive measures by staying hydrated, avoiding direct sun exposure during peak hours, which is within the hours of 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., wearing breathable clothing, and staying in well-ventilated spaces. He also called on stakeholders, health workers, and community leaders to raise awareness about the dangers of heat stress and encourage the adoption of safety measures. NIMET urged the public to stay informed through official weather updates, as the heat wave is expected to persist for several days. Chairman of the Air Peace Group, Allen Oyema, has promised to bring back underage girls trafficked to the Ivory Coast free of charge. In a statement on the company's X handle, Oyema called for collective efforts to discourage trafficking, emphasizing its inhumane and ungodly nature. He expressed deep concern and condemnation over the recent discovery of Nigerian underage girls trafficked to the Ivory Coast. He also called on the federal government to take charge of their education and reunite them with their families. Now to our business news. Federal government has set up a subcommittee to evaluate the potential economic impacts of the recent trade tariff by the United States government and will present its findings to the full EMT soon. Chinese Trade Minister Wang Wentao has insisted that the continuous introduction of tariffs by the U.S. government will cause great harm to the developing world and may even spark a humanitarian crisis. Wang stated this while speaking with Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Director General of the World Trade Organization, in a video call on Friday. He said China's decisive countermeasures are about protecting justice and stopping what he called trade bullying by the U.S. government. Wang also storms on Thursday and Friday. 8 more people were killed in neighboring Nepal disaster, officials told AFP, blaming lightning strikes on Wednesday and Thursday. Heavy rain is forecast to hit Bihar again on Saturday, according to the local India Meteorological Department office. Last year, experts warned that climate change was fueling an alarming increase in deadly lightning strikes in India, killing nearly 1,900 people a year in the world's most populous country. Deaths between 1967 and 2020, with a sharp increase between 2010 and 2020. A team of researchers led by Fakir Mohan University in the eastern state of Odisha said. Strong winds wreaked havoc in Beijing and parts of northern China on Saturday, causing hundreds of flights to be cancelled, attractions to close and rail lines to be suspended, state media said. The powerful winds stemmed mainly from a cold vortex system formed via flooding around the country last year. In May, a highway in southern China collapsed after days of rain, killing 48 people. 17-year-old boy Victor Perez, who was shot by police last weekend, has been declared brain dead according to his aunt. Perez, who his family said is autistic and has cerebral palsy, was shot 9 times by police in Pocatello. The officers were responding to a neighbor's call about someone with a knife on April 5. Perez's aunt, Ana Vasquez, has now confirmed to newsmen that the teenager has been declared brain dead. The mayor of the city of Pocatello, Brian Blad, has released a statement expressing his sadness, saying our thoughts and prayers are with the family and loved ones during this unimaginably difficult time, recognizing the pain and grief the incident has caused in the community. And now to our sports news. Victor Osimhen believes Galatasaray have the quality to win their remaining league games this season. The Yellow and Reds are in a 2-horse race with Istanbul rivals Fenerbahce for the Turkish Super League title. Galatasaray moved with 6 points clear ahead of the Yellow Canaries at the top of the table, following a 2-0 win at third-placed Samponso on Friday night. Osimhen was on target for the Yellow and Reds alongside Yunus Akgun. Fenerbahce will be away to Sivasspor on Sunday. The Nigeria international reckon they have what it takes to win a third consecutive title. Frank Onyeka has insisted that the Super Eagles can still qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup despite the team's poor run in the qualifiers. The Super Eagles have won 1, drawn 4 and lost 1 of their 6 games in the qualifying series. Eric Chell's side, who occupy 4th position in Group C, are 6 points adrift of leaders South Africa. Nigeria will face Rwanda and Zimbabwe when the qualifiers resume in September. La Liga have rejected Real Madrid's request to have this weekend's fixture against Alaves brought forward by 1 day. Los Blancos made the appeal to enable their squad get more rest ahead of the Champions League quarter-final second leg against Arsenal. Carlo Ancelotti's men will play on Sunday, 3 days before they will attempt to overturn a 3-0 deficit in the Bernabeu, according to for their crucial second leg against Arsenal, during which they will need to overturn a 3-goal deficit.